And we back. Now y'all know we on that playoff basketball wave, and I've been watching every single game very, very closely, but some closer than others. Now that's from the video that we dropped yesterday where I drove up to Milwaukee, watched Bucks versus Celtics. It was an amazing game, amazing experience, amazing video. So if you missed out, go ahead and watch it. Now today's video, we're going on a mini rant, I want to say, dealing with the OKC Thunder versus the Utah Jazz series. But before we do that, play a clip from my prediction video. I think this is going to be my favorite series of the playoffs. At least on paper it is. Now I think this is going 7 in favor of OKC. Now for me, this is a series that I was going to be watching very attentively, and I have been, and I predicted the OKC Thunder were going to win in 7 games. Now it's still possible, but right now they're down 3-1. Now in today's video, we're going to try to break down, or at least talk about what the problems is with the OKC Thunder and maybe how they could fix it. We'll see how it goes. Now, there are 3 legitimate reasons I've been seeing across the Twitterverse for the reason why the OKC Thunder just haven't been very good. A, some people are blaming Russell Westbrook. B, some people are blaming Coach Billy Donovan. And C, some people are blaming guys like Carmelo Anthony on the team that just can't make a shot. And I'm going to take each little aspect and give you an argument why that could be the reason why. But at the end of the day, I think the combination of the 3 are the reason why they're being unsuccessful. Now, let's take a step back to last year. Last year, the OKC Thunder made the playoffs basically on Russell Westbrook back. He averages a triple-double, is the most clutch player in the league last year, and he basically took a team that was really bad on paper to the playoffs and succeeded, and that's why he won the MVP award. It wasn't just the triple-double stuff, it's the fact that he basically backpacked them to a playoff, which is amazing. Now, off-season hits, you got Paul George now, you got Carmelo Anthony, projected to win 56 games, but they end up basically with the same record that they did the previous year where they didn't nearly have as much talent. So what happened this year to make them underachieve what they should have won? 56 games, and they end up winning like 10 less than that. That's tough. That's tough. Now let's start off with the Russell Westbrook argument, saying that the reason why this team has been relatively unsuccessful is Russell Westbrook. Now the argument for that is when a teammate leaves Russell Westbrook's team, they become a better player. The arguments: Kevin Durant, James Harden, Victor Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis, Serge Ibaka. Those are 5 names right there that you can legitimately say, okay, true. But then you have to think into account that when people like Victor Oladipo left, he went into a situation that benefited him more. Or same thing with James Harden. He went from a 6-man to basically being the guy of a team. So you can't really blame Russell Westbrook for some of those cases, but I kind of understand the argument. Now, I made the tweet last night saying that Russell Westbrook is an amazing player, which is undoubtedly true. He is one of the best players in the league. But at the end of the day, if I was starting a franchise, I don't think I want Russell Westbrook to be that piece. And I said it on my podcast today. I don't really know why I think that, but I just think that I'd rather go in a different direction when it comes to our point guard. But at the end of the day, Russell Westbrook is such a great player. But so far in this series, he has been outplayed by Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio has outplayed MVP Russell Westbrook. That cannot be the truth if you're trying to win a series. Not only are they trying to win a series, James Harden said it himself. I mean, not James Harden, I'm sorry. Russell Westbrook said it himself after the last game of the season that he can see this team winning the championship. And you can't win a championship if you're getting outplayed by Ricky Rubio. And Rubio has been amazing this playoffs. But Russell Westbrook, his mind is in the wrong situation. He said he's going to shut down Ricky Rubio, who had basically one of the best nights of his career in Game 4. And then he came out to try to do that, and then he picks up 4 fouls in the first half. I just think his mindset is in the wrong place when it should be just let's just win. Let's just win. And let's move on to the second point, which is the Billy Donovan thing. When I watch this team play, I don't see them running sets or running plays. They have been at least for the past couple games, have been a very isolation heavy team. Now you can ask players like James Harden from the past, you can ask DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry from the past, that the isolation basketball in the playoffs is not the way to win games. That is the main reason why Dwayne Casey up north decided, you know what, we're gonna change our offense. because ISO ball is not the answer in the playoffs, and especially not the answer when you're going against one of the best defending teams in the league. If it wasn't for Rudy Gobert sitting out those 21 games in the regular season, the Utah Jazz would have been the best defense in the league. But because he missed that time, they were not. The isolation basketball, it doesn't work. It will not work against the Utah Jazz. Like you will go through periods of time where they'll run a play and it'll be successful, and you'll be like, okay, and they'll never go back to that set again. And it's just so weird to me. It's not even just the offensive side of the ball, it's the defensive side of the ball. Now, if you look at their lineup right now, they're a team that should be defending well, but they're not. Russell Westbrook, not a great defender, but I would say he's at least average or a little above average. Corey Brewer has always held his hat on being a good defender. Paul George is a great on-ball defender. Melo's never been the guy to be a defender, but Steven Adams himself is a good defender. So there should be no excuse for this team not defending well against the Utah Jazz. There have been so many instances where Joe Ingles has been just wide open, whether it be in the corner or on the wing. Whatever their defensive scheme is, Billy, you gotta change it before it's too late. And it may be already too late. But the Utah Jazz get so many open looks that it's getting to the point where, like, I am frustrated. And y'all know me as a Bulls fan, and I have no weight in this series. I don't care who wins at the end of the day. I just want good basketball. But when I watch this team play, I'm just like, what? This team has too much talent to be in the position that they're in now. All right, and let's move on to the third thing that people are saying, is that the Carmelo Anthony just breaking everything. He's building the house out there because he just can't find his rhythm, which is relatively understanding. You think about Carmelo throughout his career, he's always been the guy. Basically, his entire career, from his rookie year, basically, he has been the guy. Remember, he has like 21 his rookie year. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, he has been the guy his entire career, and now he went from being the guy for 10 plus years to being the third option. And I can understand how psychologically that can make some dents on your play, but at the end of the day, when you get those shots, you got to make them. You have to make the shots, and he just hasn't. He just hasn't, man. This is a team. These are three players that offensively are pretty good. Melo has been declining again year after year, but I would say he's still an above average scorer in this league, obviously. Paul George has been a star for years, and Russell Westbrook just got off an MVP season. There is no way that their number one fourth quarter scorer should be Jeremy Grant. Should be Jeremy Grant. With the three names I just named, offensively, Jeremy Grant should not be their leading scorer in the fourth quarter. The one thing I see that I don't know if anybody else sees this, but you know, Russell Westbrook plays with this fire, this tenacity. But when I watch them play, Utah Jazz are going on the 8-0 run or something like that, and that same tenacity that Russell Westbrook plays with, it's not delegated to the teammates. The rest of the team is just out there lackadaisical, and they're not really playing well, or it doesn't feel like they're giving their all. And that's a major problem. That is a major problem. So they may not get out of this first round. And if they don't, this will be like a historically underachieving team. Now, I know that their bench has never been good, and that's another thing you could talk about. But when you think about the monsters that they do have up top, it should be enough to get past the Jazz, but it has not been. Now, this is like so much praise to the Utah Jazz because they have outperformed a lot of people's expectations. Like, we knew the Utah Jazz were a good team. I praised them basically all season long. Even going into this season, I was talking about how I think that their team is going to be good. Lost their star player, projected to win 40 games. I'm going over. I believe in Rudy Gobert. I believe that Rudy Gobert is the second best center in the league behind DeMarcus Cousins. Y'all can argue that if y'all want to, but that's my opinion. And that was even before we knew that Donovan Mitchell was really, really good. But defensively, they've been incredible. Joe Ingles has been a player that, I don't know, who expected this from Joe Ingles? Not me. And then Ricky Rubio having the best year of his career. And if you think about it, they're the younger team, the least experienced team. Russell Westbrook has been in the playoffs many, many times. Carmelo Anthony, though, he has not been since 2012. Before that, he was in the playoffs relatively every year. Paul George is in Indiana. He was a guy in the playoffs. And Steven Adams, he's been in OKC, so he's been there too. But you take a look at the Utah Jazz side, Ricky Rubio's first playoff appearance, Donovan Mitchell's first playoff appearance. Joe Ingles was there last year, but he didn't play nearly as big of a role as he is this year. And then Rudy Gobert, again, another young playoff guy. they're getting outplayed. And the Utah Jazz guys, the players, the fans, and the coaching, they have the upper advantage. They let guys like Jay Crowder go out there and just get under the skin of the OKC Thunder. Paul George let Joe Ingles get under his skin. That's unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable. So I don't know. That's my mini rant. Again, that's coming from somebody that's don't really care who wins, but I like to see good basketball. And when I see a team underperform their talent, then I'm like, ugh. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. As if you're an OKC fan, I definitely want to hear what you think. But even if you're an unbiased fan like me that don't really have any weight in any situation, let me know what you think. Thank y'all so much for watching. I want to try something a little bit different later today when it comes to videos, but y'all see if it ends up happening. Okay, thank y'all. Peace.